to thank you for coming and joining me today. I first moved and I relocated to another area. I was through your process. To hear that you can get out of it as well. Welcome back to Happy Life, Better Life. This is a safe space for women in their 40s and 50s who are dealing with divorce or separation. And I also want to say for their 60s too, because I've definitely had some women in their 60s chiming in who have been going through divorce, and separation. And wow, my heart just goes out to them, because, starting over in your 40s and 50s can be challenging. But geez, having to start over in your 60s, that's a whole nother level. But I still believe that even at that age, they can find bliss and happiness. But it can really be rough. It can really be rough and challenging for some. But that's why we're here. And that's why we're a community together. So I want to first thank you for liking, subscribing, and for hitting that notification bell. Today's topic, I wanted to delve deeper into when you are mourning the loss of your marriage, when you're going through a divorce or separation and you are mourning the loss of your marriage in and of itself. And before I get into that, I just want to read something to you and see if it's relatable to you, okay? If you're someone who has experienced, and it's called When Love Dies. When love dies, there's no processional. There are no cards of empathy, no flowers to commemorate the tragic loss. When love dies, condolences do not attempt to console. No one reads the obituary that tells the story of its birth, its life, and all that was begotten through its existence. You are all alone and left to mourn its untimely passing. When love dies, people don't gather together and bring food to feast on. They don't remember what was and celebrate moments of when love was vibrant and strong. They don't share photos and say, "This was love when love was young." Or laugh and say, "Remember when love did this?" Or when love did that? And give each other supportive hugs. When love dies, there are no welling mourners to show how beloved it was and to mourn its untimely passing. Friends and family don't come asking, "Is there anything I can do?" Though it can be equally as hard to make it through. When someone you loved has abandoned you. It's sad, and yet it's true. It's hard to escape feeling so damn blue. When love dies, who wants to start over? It's like finding a four-leaf clover, but it's hidden in a sea of grass. And even if you find it again, will it even last? When love dies. So I wanted to share that because I felt like it just encapsulates so many things. And yes, I am the author of that piece of When Love Dies. And I wrote this, I don't know, it was some time ago. But the truth is, a lot of times when you're mourning the loss of your marriage, people may not understand. They could be looking at you saying, he wasn't even that good of a guy. He wasn't a great husband. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. Why are you even upset about that? He did you a favor. People can say things like that because they don't understand what it is that you're really mourning the loss of, because sometimes you may not even want that person back. You may know that you're better off, but you still mourn the loss of the marriage in and of itself. It's almost like the marriage was a separate entity and you expected it to live and to go on and to grow and to change. And there's something different about being a partnership with someone. That you have that person that you come home to every day. You have that person who is a part of your life, and you make decisions together, and you do these kinds of things. Plan, you care for the kids together, or whatever it is. You've been in partnership with someone for a long period of time. And I don't know, it's like when you are in a partnership, it's a different kind of being. It's not the same as being by yourself. Now, that's how you can be feeling if that person wasn't a good partner. But what if that person was a great partner? What if that person was the person that you just thought you were always meant to be with? And you loved them and you still love them, but something in them changed. Something in them wanted somebody different, or whatever the case may be. Maybe they just weren't happy. Maybe they felt like they were stagnant, not growing, and they wanted it to end. It could be for so many reasons. But what about when you still love that person and you still feel that love even though they've gone on? One of the saddest stories I remember hearing, and this is true, this is not something that was made up or something I heard about that was on the internet or anything like that. It was a woman who really loved her husband, and he had broken up. He was already kind of cheating. Let me say not kind of. He was cheating before, he divorced her. As a matter of fact, it was one of the reasons why, he said he wanted the divorce, because he wanted to move on with his life and this other person. And this woman could not move on. She could not move forward. And it was kind of crazy because like the same day that he got remarried to this new person, she had a heart attack and she literally died. And I remember that was just like the saddest thing that I had heard. Because some part of her, whatever it was, she felt like she just could not go on. Or she was so stressed that her heart couldn't take it. These are real things. I have said that, a heartache, like a breakup and stuff, it can literally affect your heart with physical pain, even though it's a very emotional thing. And these are things that you don't really hear people say and talk about, but it is real. And when you're in that place of mourning, people can't really tell you how to mourn or if you should mourn, because the thing is, you have to go through your process. But while you're going through your process, I need you to know that there is life on the other side of this. And it could very well be brighter and better than what you had before that pain. But you have to believe that there's life after divorce, that there's life after this breakup, that there's life after this pain. One of the things that can definitely help us get through it is when you do have people who are supportive. When your family members or your friends, they know that you're going through a rough place and they're willing to spend time with you, take you out to lunch, take you out to dinner. Just do something fun to kind of take your mind off of things. Let's go do a paint and sip, Let's just go out and take your mind off of things. And the bottom line is, I always say sometimes we don't like to admit it. We don't want to admit it. But we do have to look at ourselves to see, did we contribute to the breakup of this relationship? What things could we have done better? What things could we do differently? And it's good to know those things because we don't want to go into a new situation and repeat old patterns that can cause us the same kind of pain again. And then sometimes you didn't do anything. Sometimes you really legit try to be the best wife, the best spouse, the best partner that you could be. In my situation, I knew that's what I did. So when that situation ended and I came away from it, and I have been praying so much during the last 3 years of that relationship, hoping that certain things would get better, and it just didn't. And I remember a relative of mine said to me when things finally ended, and I had left from where I was, and I went to go stay with my aunt, who was like my mother. I stayed with her for a little bit, and while I was staying with her, um, a relative of mine said to me with tears in her eyes, crying, hugging me because I was hurting. Even though things ended badly and even though it was crazy, I mean, it was so crazy towards the end, but there was still a part of me that just couldn't believe that this was it. That this was it. That 25 years of being together, living together, raising children together, and all of that, because that was all my identity. That was all my identity. I identified as a wife and a mother, and that was what I knew. And so when I didn't have those things anymore, it was heart-wrenching. Of course, I still was a mom. Still was a mom. But the thing that she said to me was, she said, I know you've been praying for a long time, and we've even prayed about this together. And she said, I know this wasn't the end that you wanted, but it is an answer. It's not the answer that you wanted to all that time you've been praying, but it is an answer. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I feel like I have something stuck in my throat. But she said it is an answer. It is an answer. May not be the one that you wanted, but it is an answer. And I had to just accept that that was the truth. It wasn't the end that I had been hoping for, and maybe all of that praying and doing all of those things and going through all of that probably prolonged things. Probably kept it on life support for those past couple of years, the last 3 years or so. It's funny because, anyway, at the end of the day, you as one person, and it doesn't matter, man, whether it's a man, a woman, or whatever, one person just cannot make a marriage last, or make a relationship work. And I say that all the time. It takes the two people to have to want it. And for some people, they genuinely, I don't know, some men and women too can feel trapped. They can feel trapped in a relationship. I always say that person has to choose you. They have to choose each other. Now, oddly enough, arranged marriages have worked, and maybe that's because people have a higher level of commitment to family and community, and they know that it's like it's a transaction, it's like a contract, and they're entering into that contract, so they intend to honor that contract and conduct themselves accordingly. And as time goes on, you do hear those people talk about how they fell in love with each other. But anyway, I just want to say that the mourning period is real. It can last for a period of time, but at some point, you have to pick yourself up, baby. And I know this may sound weird, but when certain things happen in my life, I will give myself a chance to feel it. But then there's another time when I come to myself and I say, okay, you dwelled on that for 2 days. You've been sulking about it for a week. Now it's time to pick yourself up, put on your big girl pants, and get moving. Because there's so much more life to live. And so that's what you have to tell yourself. And I'm not telling you how long you can mourn, but don't start making a monument to your pain. Don't start, like people start to really, I can't explain it, but people will start to magnify that pain. Like they'll make that pain everything, you know. They can't move beyond it. And I just don't want you to get stuck. That's my thing. I don't want you to get stuck. So give yourself time to mourn. Find ways to mourn that are constructive. Find ways to bring closure that are beneficial. You know how sometimes people say, get a letter, write all your grievances on it, and then burn it and let it go up in smoke. You know, if you have to do that, do that. Do that. Whatever will help you to heal within reason, not doing anything illegal. You know, if you feel like you need to hit something, then go to one of those rooms where they, you know, put you in protective gear, mask you up, and give you like a baseball bat and you just start breaking stuff, you know. Do it in a controlled, safe environment. Do it that way, you know. But find ways to grieve that are healthy and know that this is not going to be your end all and be all. That there is life beyond that. And that you will smile again. And that you will laugh again. And that it will be genuine and it'll be from your heart. So that's what I want to leave you with today. Because I feel like, you know, sometimes we just brush over the whole thing about mourning. But it's real. It's real. And if you see this video and it's not you, but it's your girlfriend or it's your sister or it's somebody else that you know, be compassionate. Get them a card. Get them a cake. Take them out somewhere. Take them to the movies or do something to let them know that they're not alone, you know? Say, okay, well, we're going to have a, what do you call it? We're going to have a Netflix and chill night. And I'm going to get us some ice cream. And I'm going to get what's your favorite snacks. And we're going to sit and we're going to, you know, watch some movies on TV. You know? Find ways to heal, to grow, and to move forward. But I'm just here to validate the fact that your mourning is real. And a lot of times people don't understand when you're mourning the end of a relationship. Especially, you know, when it's been a marriage or something and it's been 10 or more years. It is like a person died. It really is. You know, and the statistics say that that's how it literally affects people. You know, it's almost as if someone really did die, but there's no body, you know. So I just wanted to share this with you today and say, if you are that person who's been in mourning, you can make it. You will make it. And you've come to the right place, because there are several of us who have been there. So as people comment, if you've been through it, if you understand, please share encouraging words to lift them up and to help push them through this place. And thank you for being here. Again, this is Tasha with Happy Life, Better Life. And you know that's what I want for you.